For over a century, we thought we knew what Tyrannosaurus rex looked like. A giant, scaly, cold-blooded lizard, the ultimate killing machine. Movies, books, and museums all showed us the same image. But we were wrong. The real T-Rex was covered in feathers. And this discovery didn't come overnight. It took decades of detective work. The story begins in 1861 with a fossil that changed everything. In a German quarry, workers found the fossil of Archaeopteryx. It had feathers like a bird, but teeth and claws like a reptile. Even Darwin himself realized this creature blurred the line between dinosaurs and birds. But the scientific world wasn't ready for the full implications. For the next century, dinosaurs and birds were kept firmly separate in people's minds. Then in 1969, paleontologist John Ostrom made a radical claim. He argued that birds are direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs. His evidence came from Deinonychus, a raptor with disturbingly bird-like anatomy. The wrist bones, hip structure, and wishbone were nearly identical to modern birds. Most paleontologists initially rejected the idea. Dinosaurs were reptiles, scaly, cold-blooded, and extinct. That was the accepted science, and no one wanted to challenge it. Then China changed everything. In 1996, a farmer in Liaoning province found an astonishing fossil. It was Sinosauropteryx, the first dinosaur ever found with unmistakable feather impressions. These weren't flight feathers, they were simple, hair-like filaments. Protofeathers, the earliest stage of feather evolution. The paleontology world was electrified, and the discoveries kept coming, one after another. In 1998, Caudipteryx was found, a dinosaur with fan-shaped tail feathers. Then came Microraptor, a four-winged dinosaur that could actually glide. Its feathers were even iridescent black, like a crow's. Scientists could tell the color because fossilized melanosomes preserved the pigment structures. For the first time, we could see what color dinosaurs actually were. Sinosauropteryx had a striped tail, like a raccoon. Anchiornis was black and white with a red crest, like a woodpecker. These weren't dull gray lizards, they were vibrant, colorful animals. But all of these feathered dinosaurs were small. Critics said feathers were only for small species. Big dinosaurs wouldn't need them. Elephants don't have fur, so why would a giant dinosaur have feathers? Then in 2012, China answered that question too. Paleontologists announced the discovery of Yutyrannus huali, the beautiful feathered tyrant. Yutyrannus was 9 meters long and weighed over a ton. It was a tyrannosaur, a close relative of T-Rex, and it was covered in feathers. The argument that big dinosaurs couldn't have feathers was dead. So the question became, did T-Rex itself have feathers? The evolutionary logic is powerful. T-Rex's ancestors had feathers, its cousins had feathers, and its descendants, birds, have feathers. It would be stranger if T-Rex didn't have them. But in 2017, a study complicated things. Researchers examined T-Rex skin impressions from several specimens. The preserved patches showed scales, not feathers. Headlines proclaimed, T-Rex was scaly after all. But the reality was far more nuanced. The skin patches came from areas like the tail and hip, just small sections of the body. Modern birds like ostriches have scales on their legs, but feathers everywhere else. Having some scales doesn't rule out feathers on other parts of the body. Most paleontologists now believe T-Rex had a mix, scales in some areas, feathers in others. Young T-Rex were almost certainly covered in downy feathers for warmth. As they grew, they may have shed some feathers, like how elephants lose hair with age. But they likely kept feathers on the head, neck, and back, areas used for display. And display is exactly what feathers were originally for. Feathers evolved millions of years before flight. Their first purpose was insulation, keeping small, warm-blooded dinosaurs warm at night. Then they became tools for display, attracting mates with color and pattern. Only later did feathers become adapted for flight. This also means T-Rex was almost certainly warm-blooded. Bone growth studies show T-Rex grew faster than any cold-blooded animal could. It reached full size in about 20 years, gaining over 2 kilograms per day as a teenager. That metabolic rate requires a warm-blooded engine. A warm-blooded T-Rex changes everything about how it hunted. It wasn't a sluggish ambush predator. It was an active, endurance hunter. Its brain was larger than expected, with excellent smell and binocular vision. Recent studies suggest it may have even hunted in groups. Feathered, warm-blooded, pack hunting, this was no dumb lizard. The feather revolution also rewrote how we see other famous dinosaurs. Velociraptor, the star of Jurassic Park, was entirely feathered in real life. It was also turkey-sized, not human-sized like the movies showed. We know raptors had feathers because their arm bones show quill knobs, anchor points for large wing feathers. The Tyrannosaurus, with its meter-long claws, was likely covered in shaggy feathers. Even Oviraptor was found sitting on a nest of eggs, brooding them exactly like a bird. The fossil record now shows that feathers are the rule, not the exception, for theropods. Some scientists think feathers may go even further back in the dinosaur family tree. Culandadromeus, a plant-eating ornithischian, was found with feather-like structures in 2014. If both major dinosaur branches had feathers, the common ancestor might have too. Even some pterosaurs, flying reptiles that aren't dinosaurs, had fuzzy filaments called pycnofibers. Feather-like coverings may be an ancient trait shared by all dinosaurs and their relatives. So what did the real T-Rex actually look like? Picture a 12-meter predator with powerful legs and a massive skull. Its lower body was likely scaly, with thick pebbly skin like a crocodile, but its back and head may have sported shaggy plumage in earthy reds and browns. Its tiny arms, often mocked, may have had feathered display fans. It had forward-facing eyes that gave it depth perception better than a hawk's. Its bite force was over 6 tons, enough to crush bone like breadsticks. This wasn't a monster, it was a sophisticated, highly evolved predator. And it had lips. A 2023 study confirmed that T-Rex teeth were hidden behind scaly lips, like a lizard's. The famous exposed teeth grin from the movies was never real. So why do movies still show the old version? Because the scaly version is scarier, and fear sells tickets. But the truth is, the real animal was far more impressive than any movie monster. T-Rex wasn't a relic of a primitive past. It was a pinnacle of 68 million years of evolution. And it never truly went extinct. Its descendants are everywhere. Every bird you see is a living dinosaur. If this changed how you see dinosaurs, subscribe to Fossil to Fact for more. T-Rex had feathers, and it was more magnificent than any movie ever showed.